Now a really, really horrible crime. Think of an employee stealing parts of a human body and then selling it. Think of that employee working in one of the most respected institutions on the planet. This is not fiction. We are talking about a real incident. We are telling you about the acts of a morgue manager at the Harvard Medical School. Reports say that the man was stealing, selling and shipping human body parts. These were body parts meant for research work, donated by people for research work. How could somebody possibly sell those body parts? How could the man get away with such a stunt? Let's get into the details now. The man in question is 55-year-old Cedric Lodge. The former morgue manager used to deal with human remains. These are body parts donated to the school for educational purposes, for research. But Lodge has been charged with conspiracy and transport of stolen goods. So what happened? What did the man do with the bodies? Well, he was caught stealing parts of the donated cadavers. The body parts included heads, brains, bones, and even the skin. Lodge transported these parts to his residence in New Hampshire. Reports say that he conspired with his wife to sell these body parts. Authorities have found two buyers, Katrina McLean and Joshua Taylor, both of whom have been charged under illicit trade. Reports say that McLean sold the stolen parts in her shop. She is accused of selling the parts in multiple states. McLean even sold human skin to a man in Pennsylvania who, believe it or not, later used it to create leather. McLean was charged with transporting stolen goods within and outside state lines. Although the maximum sentence can be up to 10 years, she was let go since it's a non-violent offense. Reports say she will soon be called to court in Pennsylvania. Now let's remind you, Cedric Lodge is not new to this horrendous trade. Authorities say he was selling body parts since 2018, sometimes through the US Postal Service. Now this may sound unbelievable, but Lodge brought his buyers inside the school to choose the remains. He displayed body parts and let buyers select what they liked. How much did Lodge earn from this absolutely ghastly trade? But for starters, one buyer paid $37,000 for the cadaver parts. In 2020, Lodge was paid $200 for selling human brains. In 2019, prosecutors say that Lodge received $1,000 and the memo said head number 7. So what are the reactions to this incident? The police is left horror-struck and says that some crimes defy understanding. And you can say that again. Prosecutors say that 3 other people also face charges in separate indictments. Who are the other 3 people? Well, there's 52-year-old Matthew Lampe, 41-year-old Jeremy Pawley, and Candace Chapman Scott. Although Candace is not directly connected to the Harvard morgue case, she's been accused of stealing and selling body parts. The Harvard Medical School has called this incident an abhorrent betrayal. University officials have apologized to the donors of those body parts, the anatomical donors, and their families. It's clearly a massive, massive betrayal. Can you imagine people who have donated the organs or donated the cadavers of their loved ones in an effort to advance science, in an effort to do something good for humanity, and then they find that those body parts have been trafficked, have been sold to somebody else for money? Look, organ trafficking is now a worldwide phenomenon. Studies show that the illicit trade is part of a $1.7 billion industry. The trafficking often happens in countries with fewer regulations. How do people like Lodge, though, get away with it in America and one of the top institutions in the world? Perhaps through ties with corrupt medical professionals, lab staff, drivers, and potentially law enforcement as well. Now, frankly, an incident like this could have massive repercussions. If somebody at a place like the Harvard Medical School do something like this, will organ donors ever be able to trust medical schools again? What is Harvard Medical School going to do after this? How will it react with this? How will it assure donors that nothing like this can happen again and nobody else is there who is in any way connected to this. A lot more is going to happen in this particular story as we roll forward, and we will keep an eye out for further developments.